Throughout our lives, we all go through events which change our life. These are moments which change and shape us. Behind me is a figure whose life-changing moment re-scripted the history of modern India. Jyotirao Govindrao Phule spearheaded the movement against caste discrimination in India. He was one of the most important social reformers and thinkers of modern India itself. He, along with his wife Savitribai Phule, were pioneers of women education in India. And in this episode of the Biography series, we'll be celebrating his life and how he transformed the lives of other vulnerable sections of the society. Jyotiba Govindrao Phule was born in 1827 in Pune into a Dalit family of gardeners. We'll be discussing the word Dalit also. Where does this word come from? He initially studied in a Marathi school, but his father recognized his talent and was sent to a Scottish mission high school at Pune itself. And it is at this school where he transformed himself. More than that, at the age of 13, he married Savitribai. However, the life-changing moment came in 1848 when he was 21. While attending the marriage of his upper caste friend, he was insulted and abused by the bridegroom relative for his Dalit origins. This moment changed his life and he left the ceremony. And when he left the ceremony, it is in this moment he made up his mind that he will challenge the prevailing caste system in India. It is this conviction that changed the course of our history. Phule, after this humiliation, tried to expand his horizon and read Thomas Paine's book called Rights of Man and realized that social justice could only be possible with the emancipation of women and oppressed sections of the society. Another important event which influenced his journey was the American War of Independence. Very important. The American Revolution was very important for his journey and how they were fighting against slavery. All in all, his main aim throughout his life was to seek social justice for the people belonging to the untouchable and backward classes. And in this pursuit, in 1876, a very important year, he was elected as a member of the Pune municipality. In 1888, he got the title of Mahatma from another social reformer from Bombay, Vittalrao Krishnaji Vandekar. And Vandekar gave him this title because Phule's Akhands used to reflect the ideas of the Abhags of the Marathi Bhakti saint Tukaram. And this Tukaram connection is very, very important because Sant Tukaram used to talk about one religion, how we should connect with God, and Phule's writing also used to talk about it. Now we will look into his specific contributions. What were the specific contributions? What he wrote about the caste system, lower caste and untouchable upliftment, women upliftment, Satyashodhak Samaj, Sarvajanik Satya Dharma, a very important concept of religion, thoughts on economy and polity. Now let's go into the literature part of his story. Based on the exploitation of Brahmin priests, in 1869, he wrote a very important text called the Brahma Manche Kasam. And it talked about how the priests used to exploit the society. But one of the most celebrated works of his, Gulamgiri, which was based on the historical survey of slavery of lower caste in India under the Dasa and Dasi tradition, was then published in 1873, and he dedicated this book to the African American movement against slavery. This is the American connection. He then went on to write the Shetkare Osad in 1881, which is generally translated to the Cultivator's Whipcord, which is a collection of his speeches which tried to analyze how peasants were being exploited in those days. Finally, in 1889, he then conceptualized his religious understanding into the Sarvajanik Satya Dharma Pustak, a book of true religion for all. In these works, Phule was deeply concerned about the Shudras and Ati-Shudras because of their historical experience of exploitation. And finally, Phule was the first to recognize that the problem of lower caste peasant in India was actually exaggerated due to the agrarian crisis created by the British land revenue settlements, such as the permanent settlement, which led to a lot of distress and landlessness. And he also gave a lot of reforms. What should be the way to go forward? However, Do you really know who gave the word Dalit? It was actually Phule who coined the term Dalit, a Marathi term which means broken and crushed. He used this term to describe the experience of the people who were within the traditional Varna society and Varna system but were always excluded out of it. Over and above that, in order to uplift the depressed classes, in 1850, Jyotibha Phule opened an educational trust for the lower caste called the Society for Promoting the Education of Mahars and Mangs, and he then established a school for untouchables and a night school in 1852. Besides concentrating on the depressed classes, Jyotibha Phule also paid a lot of attention to the upliftment and empowerment of women. Phule was much ahead of his time when he was able to identify that patriarchy had denied women access to education, and education was important for her empowerment. Patriarchy means the domination of men, and generally men dominating all spheres of life. In this context, in 1850, Jyotibha Phule and Savitribai Phule opened a trust called Native Female School in Pune, and that was for the upliftment of women and girls. Further, in 1851, there were 3 schools in Pune itself with 150 female students running for their upliftment and their education. Going beyond education, Jyotibha Phule was also deeply concerned with the existing marriage system in India. He attacked the customs and practices such as child marriage, marriage between young girls and old men, polygamy, and objections to widow remarriage and prostitution, which we discussed previously also in these episodes. He consequently supported the movement for widow remarriage in 1860. But much like other social reformers, he did not stop at words. In 1863, he became very important by establishing an infanticide prevention center at Pune to help upper caste pregnant widows to give birth in a safe and secure place. Phule also conceptualized his religious understanding. Phule believed in one God, but he never said that there was any one book which was God ordained. He discarded idolatry, more than that, ritualism and fanaticism. Unlike other social reformers, he was very critical of the social order produced by our scriptures. It's a very important point, which technically removes him from the larger context, because he said that there was a way our social reformers were only talking about the scriptures but not criticizing them. But he said that the social order which is produced by the scriptures are also a problem. He tried to put in its place a universal religion based on the principle of liberty and equality. And this vision manifested itself in the form of what we call as Sarvajanik Satya Dharma, or public true religion. He believed that this Sarvajanik Satya Dharma would emphasize on truth seeking without the aid of middlemen such as Pandits or anybody who was talking about interpreting our scriptures. This universal religion was based on liberalism, liberal ideas, and was primarily concerned with secular ideas. Institutionalizing his reform agenda, on 24th September 1873, Jyotiba Phule then established a very important organization called the Satyashodhak Samaj, or what we call as the Society of Seekers of Truth, with the aim to fight for the rights of the depressed groups such as women, Shudras, and Dalits. Through this Samaj, he fought for and opposed idolatry and denounced the caste system. The Samaj campaigned for the spread of rational thinking, advocated the need for no priests in the temple itself. The Samaj also emphasized on human well-being, happiness, unity, equality, and more than that, easy religious practices and principles open to everybody. More than that, he used the newspaper Deenbandhu to spread his ideas. Interestingly, the Samaj also opposed the stronghold of Brahmins on bureaucracy. This is a very unique point. Phule believed that the Brahmin bureaucrats were responsible for misleading the colonial rulers, and there was a need to increase the representation of depressed classes in the bureaucracy for the upliftment of these classes. The Samaj also criticized the social order which was produced by the narrow reading of the Vedas and the Puranas. Moving beyond his socio-reformer hat or outlook, he was also an important thinker of his time. And when it came to his understanding of colonialism, it was extremely nuanced. When we talk about his thoughts on economy, while the nationalists viewed that industrialization was a solution for India's economic problems, Jyotibha Phule said no, the Indian economy is agrarian and the reform should come in agriculture. He was able to create a connection between colonial rule and the destruction of the agrarian sector. He was able to also identify a lot of causes for the agricultural crisis, such as a large population, high land tax, farmer exploitation by moneylenders, and more than that, Brahmin government officers who were there in the revenue and irrigation department, and more than that, the unfair competition with British goods. He did not stop here. He believed in giving solutions also, and he identified the solutions also. Jyotibha Phule suggested the following solutions. He said, we need to construct bunds, tanks, and dams to provide water to farmers. More than that, the government needed to take up schemes such as soil conservation, animal breeding, and teaching modern techniques to the farmers to increase the yield. And more than that, hold exhibitions of agricultural products annually to attract foreign investment. More than that, the government needed to reduce the burden of taxes on the farmers to make agriculture profitable. When we look at the overall outlook of Phule, he had both negative and positive things to say about British rule. According to Phule, colonial rule had established the rule of law and, more than that, the rule and principle of equality before law. This was a positive aspect. In contrast to this, the earlier regimes had imposed a lot of restrictions on education and occupation of lower caste and women. More than that, the British missionary schools and government colleges were ready to admit any student irrespective of the caste origins. More than that, in fact, Jyotibha Phule himself is the best example of this process because he was a product of a missionary school and became a social reformer himself. He knew that if the lower castes were educated, they would then become conscious of their political rights and then demand a share in political power, which really happened also. However, we should not think that he is pro-British. He simultaneously challenged British rule. He realized that the government was providing more funds and greater facilities to the higher education, which meant that this was neglecting the education of masses, where the lower caste children were. Governmental funds were very, very insufficient for the primary education. More than that, according to him, the scholarship system was favoring the literary and upper caste, which meant that there was no encouragement for the lower caste children. Very, very important. More than that, when he was part of the Pune municipality, he used to oppose this concept of welcome ceremonies. And these were for the higher dignitaries. What he argued was that why should we not put this money in the education sector? He also pointed out, and this made Phule very unique, that the bureaucracy was dominated by upper caste and the government needed to diversify it. Unfortunately, while we know a lot about his life and ideas, we know very little of the circumstances of the death of Jyotibha Phule. He died on 28th November 1890, but the point is, he lives on in his legacy. He was made immortal because of his works and writings, which then inspired the other depressed class movement in India, that including of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Phule's thoughts act as the model for today's concepts of inclusive development, poverty eradication, zero hunger, equal and quality education, gender equality, and reducing inequality and rural development in India. Agricultural reform was also emphasized by him, and this lives on in his legacy and ideals today. Jyotibha Phule is a very important personality in the social reform movement, and he changed the caste paradigm, the paradigm on women's education, and their empowerment. For more videos, log on to the BYJU'S app.